Hi friends, welcome to my channel Plants and Birds. Friends, in last video we have discussed about the process of training in horticulture crops. In this video we are going to discuss about the process of pruning in horticultural crops in the series of general horticulture by its introduction, principle and methods of pruning. Firstly, what is pruning? Pruning refers to judicial removal, not a complete removal, judicious removal of plant parts to get higher yield and better quality fruits, to improve the yield and quality of the fruits. Okay. Next, objectives of pruning means why it is done. Okay. Why it is needed. Pruning, why it is needed. Okay. Needed. Why pruning is needed? To improve the production of new shoots which bear flowers and fruits. Okay. To improve the production of new shoots and which bear flowers and fruits. To remove dead, diseased, infected and weak shoots. To remove the dead, diseased. Okay. If any disease is attacked by the leaves, to remove that. Okay. And next, infected and weak shoots must be removed. Okay, for a better yield and quality. Okay, to thin excess flavors and fruits. If excess flavor is present, which affects the pollination, will directly affect the quality of the fruits. And if more fruits will affect is there, then the quality of the fruits is decreased. Okay, size of the fruits can be decreased, so that we must thin out some of the fruits. Okay, to improve. Okay, sunlight interruption. Thin out means removing. Okay, thin out means removing. Okay, to thin excess flowers and fruit means to remove some flowers and fruits when they are in excess. Next, to improve sunlight interruption and penetration inside the canopy. To improve sunlight interruption means fall of sunlight on the each stem and penetration inside the canopy. Okay, inside the canopy, if canopy is high large, okay, if not trained and pruned, then canopy is not lower branches will not get sunlight, so that they are become unproductive. Okay, to control flowering and fruiting. Okay, we can control the flowering and fruiting by pruning. We can induce flowering in what time we want. We can induce the flowering by using pruning and training techniques, mainly the pruning technique. Okay. And next, what is the principle of pruning? Okay, what is the principle? Okay, we learn why it is needed, and now we will learn why it is done. Okay, to admit more sunlight. Okay, more sunlight, to admit more sunlight, to remove unproductive branches which are producing few or no fruits are removed. To remove this, to admit more sunlight, to remove unproductive branches which are producing few or no fruits, and also to keep the plant in a proper vigor, means more vigor or not less vigor, within a proper vigor. Okay, and to obtain optimum yields of good quality fruits. To obtain optimum yields of good quality fruits. Optimum yields of good quality fruits. This is the principle of pruning. Next, methods of pruning in that heading back. First method is heading back. Removal of terminal portion of the shoot, leaving the basal portion of intact, is known as heading back. This is done to encourage the lateral shoots. Okay, lateral buds to dominate. Okay, and next, lateral bud apical dominance, to increase the lateral bud apical dominance. Heading back is done. And next, methods of pruning. In next method is thinning. Thinning is done in grown plants and in the seedlings also. First we will learn about thinning in grown plants. This is when a single branch will contain 10 branches, okay, 10 lateral branches, then there is a interruption of light is affected, and so that growth is also affected, so that quality of the fruits produced is also affected, so that we must thin out some of the branches. That means we must remove some of the branches to get a better sunlight interruption and quality. Okay, this is the thinning in trees and plants. Okay, what is thinning in nursery? What is thinning in seedlings means, if more seedlings are there, then growth of the seedlings will be affected. Okay, if more seedlings are in one place, there are more seedlings, then nutrition deficiency will occur, which leads to quality disappearance. so that some only healthy seedlings are kept and remove the unhealthy seedlings. This is known as thinning in the nursery. Next method of pruning is notching. That is, a small cut is given above the dormant bud. Notching means above the dormant bud, above the dormant bud. Okay, a single small cut is given to check the influence of hormone and to encourage the growth and sprouting of the bud. To encourage the growth and sprouting of the bud, to to check the influence, what is the influence of the hormone on that bud. Okay, to check that influence and to encourage the growth of that bud. Okay, because when what are the nutrients taken from the roots will directly go to that only, not to from that notch. When we cut that, nutrients cannot move to upper bud. It will be stopped there only, so that bud will be grown. This is notching. See, nicking. Next method is nicking. See, nicking means a small cut is given below the dormant bud to ensure the availability of photosynthesis. What is this? Okay, carbohydrates synthesized by the photosynthesis that will be available now. There, nutrients from the soil is available there. Where in notching, in nicking, photosynthesis is available. A small cut is given below the dormant bud to ensure the availability of photosynthesis from the leaves to the bud to flower. To induce flower is nicking is done. But to grow the buds, notching is done. It must be remembered. This is the main difference to be remembered. See, notch, you don't remember. You first remember this nick. Nick means niche. You think that niche means down, no? Huh? Niche. Nicking will be done in niche, means down, below. Okay, notch. Then we will automatically know that notch means upside. Okay, about the dormant bud, notch will be done to increase the bud growth. Okay, nicking is done from the leaves to the bud to flower. Okay, to flower, nicking is done. This must be remembered. And here nicking, photosynthesis are available. In notching, okay, soil minerals are available. This must be remembered in our mind. Next method of pruning is ringing, girdling, or cincturing. These are the three names. Here one must be remembered that only in grape orchard it must be followed, but in most of the trees, if you done without knowing this, it will die. The tree will be died. Okay, died. So that only in grape orchards it is mainly a good operation. Okay, mainly. A circular ring of bark 3 to 5 cm wide removed, which leads to accumulation of photosynthesis above the girdling portion. That is in the upper branches. Okay, enhanced flowering, fruit set, and fruit growth. Okay, not is done in many of the plants. Okay, in olden days this method is used to kill the some weedy trees. Okay, which leads to to clear the farms. Okay, fields, to clear the fields. This is done. The plant will automatically die. They will think that. Okay. Firstly, it is mainly important operation in grape orchard. Okay. Next, polarity. This is another important for temperate regions, in which induced vegetative growth, where the upper part is removed, so that vegetative stems will be grown. Induced vegetative growth, dense foliage and branches. This foliage is used for fodder. Okay, to maintain plants at predominant height as controlled. So we will cut the tree, small branches will have it predominant height only. Okay, to maintain plants at predominant height for fodder, that branches 2 to 6 years interval. What is the branches available that will be used as fodder? 8 to 15 years interval. What are the branches available? They are for wooden posts. They will be used. This is about the polarity. Next, copicing means practicing of cutting down the plants to very low level in the ground, by leaving 30 to 35 centimeters above trunk. Next, copicing means removing the main trunk, leaving 30 to 35 centimeters stump alone. This stump starts producing more vigorous shoots after 6 months. After 6 months, this period must be remembered. Only 2 to 3 shoots are retained per stump, and rest ones are completely thinned, that is removed, completely removed. Only 2 to 3 shoots are retained, so the only that shoots will be grow better and will produce good product. Coppicing is mainly done in, you must remember these two crops mainly. Cinnamon, that is bark. In cinnamon, bark is used, so that cinnamon and drumstick vegetable, very very important tropical vegetable, where in which tropical vegetable coppicing is followed, means drumstick. This is very important. Yeah, next another comes of eucalyptus, hazelnut, chestnut, salt tree, adult tree, willow tree. It will be followed. Okay, cinnamon and drumstick are very very important crops, very very important horticulture crops where coppicing is followed. Next, root pruning. A circular trench of 45 centimeter is dug out. You must remember that 45 centimeter is dug out away from the stem annually, and roots are annually, means each season, in each season, and roots are cut off, where roots will be cutted. Okay, roots are cut off with sharp knife. It will be cut by a sharp knife. Okay, after that, trench is filled with manure will be added. It helps to increase the production of mass of fibrous roots, which increase the absorption of fibrous roots will have high absorption rate, so that they are absorb the nutrients and leads to higher productivity. Okay, this is about the root pruning. Next, time period. In pruning, time period is very important. Pruning small branches can be done at any time of the year, but large branches with more than 5 to 10% of plant's crown can be pruned either during dormancy in winter. In tropical region, dormancy in winter only it will be pruned. Means in which in winter the tree stops its growth. Okay, it will stop its growth and prepare the photosynthesis. In that time, you must be prune that large branches. Okay, otherwise it will undergo dead of the tree. Okay, for species where winter frost, that is in temperate regions, frost can harm a recently pruned plant in mid. Okay, if you cut in same. Okay, if you cut large branches samely during the winter, it will harm the. Okay, frost will harm the cutted pruned plant, so that in mid summer, okay, just after flowering, it will be done in temperate regions. Pruning will be done in large branches. In tropical, you must remember during the winter, that is dormancy, when the tree attain dormancy. Okay, next, why it is not done in what rainy or autumn season, means should be avoided, as the spores of disease spores, means fungal spores or bacterial spores will be active in that period due to relative humidity and okay, temperature, okay, which is suitable for that growth, are abundant at this time of the year, so that plant which will infect the cutted part of the tree and which leads to death of the plant, so that it will be avoided during the autumn season, means rainy season. In rainy season, pruning is avoided in large branches. Okay, small branches also not good in during the rainy season. Next, what is the difference between training and pruning? This must be important. Here, say training is based on the fact that horizontal branches bear more flowers and fruits than vertical branches. Here, training in theory is horizontal branches. Whenever you see horizontal branches will have more flowers and fruits than vertical branches. This is the main theory of fruits training. Okay, upper branches bear profusely than the lower branches. Lower branches will produce less than upper branches. Here, next, this is the next theory of training. Two theories of training are horizontal branches bear more fruits than more flowers and fruits than vertical branches. Okay, so that water shoots and all that are removed, which are grow vertically. Okay, here upper branches bear profusely than the lower branches. Okay, these are the two theories involved in training. Next, in pruning, the theory is branches to which the sap flow is more. Okay, niching and notching, I did know, so like this one. Okay, branches to which the sap flow is more bear fruits abundantly and are superior quality. This is the theory of pruning. Next, Training is done to provide proper shape and framework, as I told. To provide a shape, training is done, and to influence the fruiting, pruning is done. This is important to be noted. And training method determine the branching pattern and framework. Training will determine the branching pattern and framework, how the framework of the plant, it is round or vertical, or different shapes can be attained by the plant by using training. Pruning determine the capacity of the plant to bear the how much capacity the plant will have to bear the fruits. We can determine that. Okay, training can keep the plant in manageable shape and height. We can manage the shape and height of the plant or tree by using training. Okay, your pruning can divert the flow of sap towards the fruiting branches for bearing better quality fruits. You can divert the by niching and notching, by girdling. Okay, we can divert the flow of sap towards the fruiting branches so that quality is retained. This is about the difference between training and pruning. Next, thank you friends. This is about the training and pruning operations in horticulture crops. Thank you friends. Bye.